Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to SAS Coding Junction. My name is Prasad and this is our third video in our SAS Coding Junction video series. Today we are going to talk about reading a text file using SAS, creating a SAS dataset, and producing certain reports from the dataset. We're going to use proc frequency and proc means. Let's first look at our dataset. I'm going to go to the dataset which I have saved in this path in C SAS Learning. I'm going to open the physical features dataset. There are 6 observations and 4 variables in this dataset. The first variable is the gender. Second variable is the age. Third variable is the height, and fourth variable is the weight. So there are 3 numerical variables and 1 categorical variable. So let's read our text file first. I'm going to write a comment. Reading a text file named physical features So I'm going to use the data step. I'm going to name the data set as, say, physical underscore features semicolon. Enter. I'm going to give a tab. I'm going to use the infile statement to read the text file. Essentially, infile statement tells me where the file is located in SAS. I'm going to write the name of the text file, physical features. I'm going to use the input statement so that I can input the variables that are used in the SAS dataset. Now, if you look at the data, physical features, each column or each variable here is separated by a blank. Now, this blank or this space is nothing but a delimiter in SAS. In SAS, a space or a blank is the default delimiter. There could be a delimiter called as maybe comma or a semicolon, but in this case it is a blank. So we're going to get the listing output. So we say input. First variable is gender, which is a character variable. So we add a $sign after writing the word gender. Then second variable is the age, which is a numerical variable. So I don't need to worry about the $sign. Then there is a height and weight, semicolon. All these are numerical variables. Then I say enter, and then I'm going to say run. So let me see what desired output I would get. So I'm sure that we are going to create a physical features SAS dataset, which should be saved in the work library. So I'm going to run this. Okay, so we're getting some errors here. So this is because I haven't used a .txt here. Okay, so I'm going to run this again. And now SAS log says that I have 5 records that were read from the infile physical features.txt. It has 5 observations and 4 variables. Now I'm going to go to my libraries, work, physical features, and I'm going to see the SAS dataset. So gender, age, height, and weight. Now I'm going to run proc frequency. So I'm going to find out the frequency count of gender. So I want to see how many males and how many females are present in that data set. So I'm going to say proc frequency data is equal to physical features. I'm going to say tables. Remember, the table statement finds out the frequency count of that variable. In this case, we're using gender, so we're going to write gender, and we're going to say run. So when I run proc frequency, I get this particular output. So there are 2 females and 3 males in the data set. Next, we are going to write, let's use the title statement and write finding the mean of age, weight, and height. And so for that, I'm going to use proc means data is equal to physical features, and here I'm going to use the variables. So for what variables I need to find out the mean. Okay, if you see the data set, I need to find out the mean for age, height, and weight. So I'm going to write variable age space height space and weight semicolon, and then I'm going to say run. So if I run this statement, if I run this program, let's see. Okay, so I didn't run the title statement, so I'm going to run the title statement here, and we're going to get finding the mean of age, weight, and height. So mean of age is 37, mean of height 67, weight is 155. We also get the standard deviation and the minimum and maximum values for the variables age, height, and weight. Now remember that if you do not specify variable or var statement in the proc means procedure, then SAS is going to calculate the means. Essentially, it's going to calculate the statistics for all the variables by default. Similarly, in the proc frequency, if you don't mention tables statement and a variable followed by it, SAS is by default going to calculate the frequency count of all the variables present in the data set. So in this lesson, we learned how to use the in-file statement to read a text file, create a SAS dataset, and a listing output. We used an input statement to write the variables in the SAS dataset. We used proc frequency to calculate the frequency counts of essentially categorical variables, gender. And we also used the variable statement, essentially the proc means. We used proc means to find out the average of age, height, and weight. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. I highly recommend you guys to type this program if you want the data set, if you want the text file. You send an email. I'm going to write the email. It should be junctioncode@gmail.com, and just type the code, so that it's going to be more beneficial for you this way. All right, then see you in the next lesson. That's it for today. Thanks. Bye.